I was to do the blues of the current world situation, well, what key would that be in? I'm going to go with A flat minor. Yep. And because you're probably, what's it called? At this point, a lot of people, I don't know, I mean, okay, this is a reflection on my interpretation of the world situation, is that it's a kind of insane, completely insane. And this is, I mean, insane because the context of why it's insane is important to know. Really important because it's not, yeah, so what's it called, the impermanence, the understanding the impermanence of the situation. As and to know logically that it will, that it has no choice other than its impermanence. It's to get to that understanding, I think. So when because okay, so I'm probably talking to people who've had spiritual awakenings, they've had what's it called, realizations, where the you know, the what's it called, the old analytic sort of information patterns that we've been holding on to feel normal, to feel sane for how many years, a lot. That those, to have those things, what's it called, like a realization where, that they disappear. In light there is no, in light there can't be dark. So, at our realization point, they dissolve. But then, post-realization, they fracture. So and try and our own habitual reliance on them doesn't just disappear, but it actually we still like grab on, even after having this this realization where we realise the nature of those things are, not helpful to us anymore, and especially not 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 good for ourselves, humanity. Uh, so where we're where we're, which gets me round to when I stutter, I'm normally just about to say something that isn't quite right, and it's just a way of giving time for the right. Anyway, so that's it. They've gone, but there's a rainfall of fractured energetic patterns. What's it called? Being played with by the whole human race to make sense of the world, and so that's. And if I think back to my own spiritual awakening, it's very useful because it's the same pattern, the same nature of things happening, but if you imagine that happening but through a whole world of people at the same time. So, and that madness post-realization that I think we all, is kind of a property of having a realization, is that post that you can appear, incredibly mad, or like, someone. I was really careful, and I was lucky in my realization, in my times where I'd had a very post realization where my worldview got so messed up and disproportionate, like the fragments find places and skew the reality in a much more, like, they'll, anyway, I appeared, it's like I told people what my thoughts were doing, they would have thought I was completely insane on several occasions, but that is normal. That's everyone. Everyone has that. Everyone has the fractured reality post-realization. So now we're seeing fractured reality post-mass realization. And so, but what? And those lucky enough, I think. To be fair, like, there's always danger. Like, I'm not going to say that like this the post-realization fragmentation of the energetic information morphic field is not dangerous. It's very dangerous, and so I think that's why we have to be very careful, and and not go to the extremes of reaction, especially as this is a communal realization. It has so much more power. So very dangerous. This is the first. I mean, a lot of people say, "Whoa, I had my realizations earlier. If you're listening to this, you probably did." But this is when the pre. I think there we're both lucky, but I think it's not like if you remember your own awakening, or like your, what's it called? Like at least think about your major one, and imagine someone at that point of your most mad fractured state, post that realization, trying to convince you otherwise. And that is why it is very dangerous, I think. And I think that's why there's help coming in, and we can just do our best in a ways, because that's all. We just do our best. I mean, and ride out the storm, and hope, just and do our best to. Yeah, there is some responsibility for those who are ahead of the curve to a certain degree what's it called? To look after everyone else, and that is necessary. So, and whichever, however, yeah, I mean, yeah, but yeah, that's it really. But it's like our spiritual awakenings. We know we sort of, things eventually normalise, but en masse, that is scarier than just us doing it by ourselves. Even though, at least, I mean, at this point, everyone thinks everyone's mad, but previously, maybe certainly when I was going through whatever's, I was seen as mad, and everyone else thought they were sane. At least everyone's mad together. But we are. I think that's why this is actually the most difficult bit. But and so I don't know. There's and but and it's not like this is just it will there is literally no choice but for that to happen at this point. So that is why it's happening. It's happened now. Before, it didn't. It wasn't. Because then, you didn't have to. But now, there's no choice, because that is how things are. There's no choice. So we should help people, even those who are seemingly evil. We should do our best to understand the fractured, the falling of the fractured paradigms and the holding on will eventually dissolve and hold their hand. That's it. And we know they don't. But okay, that's it. That's it.